Hi, the Arab Spring has not only deceived the Western leaders, but even the aspiring ones in the Middle East, or at least they shouldn't even be surprised, because when you look at third world nations, people get into power and they want to stay there forever. And so, just as how this one had been impatient with the previous one, people are impatient with him now. And especially these days where people are living in now generation, they want power now and they want it right now, right away. And so, in a way, they welcomed Bush with getting rid of the Taliban and the Saddam Hussein in Iraq. But it's just changing from one to the next because the people in the Middle East are so indomitable that you have to have one like themselves who's going to really be able to catch the goat. Now, you can't take your democratic and your Western principles over there and expect that it's going to make a difference because, unless you could chop off the hand and throw them off the roof, you're going to have a difficult time controlling them. And so the Spring Revolution basically trying to look at it from some naive people in the Middle East. Oh, this is a chance to get rid of the dynasty people and all this money they're taking and so on. And then when he dies, his son's going to take over. We don't want that. We want to have a chance of running the show. And since we went to Harvard in the States and Oxford in Britain, we have some new ideas and we want to do things different. That's only for say when they get into power, they don't want to come out. See, power in the Middle East is corrupting. And when you have it's absolutely corrupt and rich too. And so while the men looking for power and to grab the money, the women looking at rights, they want Western type women's liberation. They want to be able to wear what they want, or say what they want, and do all kinds of stuff, get a job and all that. And the boys in media didn't have that. So in spite of the Spring Revolution, they're still going fully with the women and doing what the women would want. But that's one way of looking at it. But the real thing behind the Spring Revolution is just to create chaos in the Middle East and make it very unstable so that anytime any pro-Western nation or anybody make a wrong move, this going to ignite into a grand conflagration. It's going to take all the resources of America and the rest of the world to extinguish it. That's the real nature of the whole deal. So they themselves don't understand it. Like right now with Israel and the Palestinians, people are concerned whether this could cause the whole Arab world to start doing stuff. And I won't try to enumerate things that they might do or would want to do, etc. I won't leave that alone. And so with the Middle East, they've had the luxury of three empires out there. You had Africa coming from Egypt. You had Babylon, which is Iraq, and you had the Medes and Persians, which is Iran. And they have seen the cycle three times. When people get power, they're eager and they're anxious and they're working hard, long hours, sacrificing blood, sweat, and tears, and doing everything that you would expect of people that are kind of enthusiastic and eager to succeed. But then later on, their kids, they try to give the kids everything and they try to have them sitting down home and, don't worry, son, I got it here for you, man, and so on. And then sons come not wanting to work as hard. They acquire technology that when they're playing in going on the road, they're walking off the street and walking in front of the horse and buggy and all that stuff, and falling off cliffs, etc. That walls up there. So King's son with this play station walking, playing it like that, and you see at the end and they just fall over, right? And so forth. And so they've seen this already because the scripture says there's nothing new under the sun. They saw when men want to do women's jobs and women want to do men's jobs. Women want to drive construction vehicles. They want to go to war. They want to do some stuff that we understand femininity. It's a tragedy. And then all the men want to be little home moms and Miss Mom and all this stupidness. And they want to put the thing on the chest with bottle feeding, child giving, breastfeeding, and all that stuff. I mean, what they think it is, are you stupid or something? Then baby stupid. Yes, they might feed it once, but then the baby can realize that mom and dad feed them from the breast. And that's crazy. You can confuse the child now. All right. Men don't have the ability to be good guardian of children. women, either it's a part of them or the mother's trained at it, they could sort of guesstimate time. They will feed the baby now, and they know the baby needs to be fed the next hour. On the dot, they're ready. The baby ready to be fed. The baby makes a certain cry. They know what is needed. Maybe it's wet, maybe it's hungry, maybe something is bothering them, something strange on the window, or something like that. But men don't have that kind of ability. Men want to be chef and so on. And they're doing a good job at it. But you know what? They could be out there breaking the stone and driving a truck and construction vehicle and lifting them heavy barrels off places and so on, because that's how men function. While the women, aren't necessarily physical strength, they'll be doing the things that are lighter and safer and more secure, at the home, close to the home, so that in case they don't feel well, they go home and lie down, or the period suddenly coming down and so on. And so, they in the Middle East, they've had these experiences, and three times it happened. And so they figure like this is the way it is to go. But you know what? The West hasn't studied history. And we're thinking in the West here that, oh, this is so new. No, there's nothing new under the sun. And so now life is so dumb that they want to copy what we're doing in the West over here. And they don't realize that our stuff is heading into a collision. Because now when you have moms big and strong, driving this big truck, when she gets pregnant, she can't go to work like that. Because that jerking up going to make that baby miscarry. Or if she just had the baby, she can't go doing that kind of stuff because it will cause her, internal problems. And she needs to rest a little bit because it seems like that baby bearing and holding everything, it takes a lot of strength that you can't see. But in resting, it sort of recuperates. I recall when I was at college, this woman, I think she miscarried twins or something like that over the weekend. And next Monday, she back out to work. And the old women tell her, look, no, you need to rest. We've seen other women done this before and they got sick, deadly sick. Go home and rest. You're working for a place. They have somebody in to do your job. You pay and cut, but just go home and rest. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong, like this and that. But, eventually, years after she got sick in Canada, and she was so sick, so deadly sick that her husband didn't want me to see how she's looking. She's really in a bad shape. And so people could think positive all they want. They could think anything. I could fly. Or man said, I could have a baby. You just attach it onto my intestines and as long as the blood vessel is going to grow and everything like that. No, it's different, man. Why are we going through all this stupid stuff? And so the women in the Middle East want to copy the Western style. The whole world needs to go through the same hardships. I mean, can you imagine what's happening in the homes? This woman worked hard. The husband worked hard. But the husband could come home and kick up his foot because the children are studying him. The children behind, Mom, you hungry, Mom, we didn't finish our homework, Mom. It's Mom. She said, go tell your dad. But hey, it has been structured that way. As soon as she took that baby out from the baby place there, the breast is right when she breast. And baby saw her first. And then she continued the baby. Baby didn't recognize nobody else. He recognizing milk time, feed time, sleep time, poop time, them kind of times, bathing times, and she playing a nice little jokey games with the baby. And like later on then discover, hey, you have a dad. But all they think, so anytime they have a problem, is Mom. You can't tell them to call dad. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you can't have it always. You can't assume the baby born, put it to you, and the baby sort of, what's the word, recognize you and got accustomed to you, acculturated to you, and then telling them the baby knows to go to dad. You see? So if you're going to take on a job where you're working 20 hours a day, and you come back home, still I'm children and be waiting for you to tell you all the problems and for you to solve the problems and all the whole 9 yards. So, I can't make no decision for nobody. I mean, you got to make your own decision. But all I'm saying is that these women in the Middle East and the men, they think that, it's about change and all that. But, with all the change, things remain the same. In fact, changing in the Middle East from bad to worse because you don't see nothing yet. And so I sympathize with women who are still looking for their part of the revolution to be fulfilled. It's not coming, okay?